on the stone. In his heart he knew the artist must be true. But
Roadies,
the legend...
ice, dry ice, fog.
Yeah.
And we're live!
And the legend of the RANT was way hardcore.
Episode 8! Here we are, bump
Episode
that.
8.
Hooray!
What an intro. If anybody's seen
That bumps.
what is that movie? School of Rock?
School of Rock.
Yes.
There's just one problem there. The band is mine. How can you kick me out from what is mine? Yeah.
If you've seen School of Rock, give us a thumbs up. Good movie.
Hawaii 5-0. Yeah, let me hear you.
Hey.
That's why we got to do an episode about that soon.
Oh my god.
However, that is not today's episode. Today's episode will be going into Legend of Korra. Yay!
But not yet.
Yeah, last week
Your opinion.
we spent time going over Avatar: The Last Airbender. This week will be Legend of Korra. But first, the news. Hit us with that news.
All right, for all you cool cats out there who saw that trailer, the new Indiana Jones video game is currently under construction. There is a movie coming out in summer of 2022, but before that, we'll be getting a new video game with Indiana Jones coming out from Bethesda and Machine Games and Lucasfilms. The trailer just got released. Apparently, this story of Indiana Jones takes place in 1936, right between Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom. So, where it should be fun. It's been a long time since a good Indiana Jones game came out, so I'm excited for this one. Anytime you can play as Indiana Jones, just be involved in that world and adventuring, and it's fun. Blow some Nazis up.
Do we know if this movie or video game is going to be Harrison Ford based?
The movie is Harrison Ford. He's gonna be 80 years old when it comes out.
Really?
But heck yeah.
Wow.
Dude is, but there's only one Indiana Jones, and that's Harrison Ford. But the game, they'll probably have some schmo.
Like a typical looking character.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I'll bet you $50 Tom Holland does the voice.
Oh no! Please
Oh,
don't
no,
talk.
I'm just
He's so
literally
good.
I'm about to be Tom Hollanded out. I'm serious.
He's a great actor and he's really cute, whatever. But I am Tom Holland out.
No, for real. I heard he's in the running right now for the new Willy Wonka movie to be Willy Wonka. That doesn't make any sense
Willy
to me.
Wonka movie?
No, let it
I
die.
knew it'll
Let
be
it
a
die.
prequel Willy Wonka movie, and it's him. It's either up to Tom Holland or Timothy Chalamet. That's gonna be taking on the role. I'm like, come on.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's gonna be odd. More news. Star Wars is leaving EA. How do we feel about this?
We are happy. Happy. Are you
Some
guys
happy
familiar
campers.
with... Yes, are you guys familiar with the just shenanigans, I'll call them, that EA has been undergoing with the property of Star Wars?
Yeah, loot boxes. That's all.
Not just loot boxes. Battlefront 2, for a while, was pay to win. It wasn't just loot boxes or get some cool skins.
Well, it's like, wasn't it if you had like the best equipment, you were destined to win type of thing?
You had to pay extra to get the final levels of the game, which you've already.
Yeah, you pay $60 for the base game. Oh, pay an additional $120 to get everything and all these extra levels and all this and that. That's EA all the way.
What's the name of this channel? Bump that.
Yeah, bump that.
That's some trash right there.
If you are a fan of this channel, then you are not a fan of EA. Sorry, even though actually I just bought Wesley PGA Tour.
Great sports games, but other than that,
Yeah, well, that's for another day. But so Star Wars leaving EA, it's been a long time coming, and all the fans rejoiced. The only thing that makes my ear prick a little bit is that Ubisoft is working on the next game. It's a story-driven title. However, Ubisoft is not necessarily innocent either with their dealings. Also,
No, they are not.
they've been known to do some pretty shady things as well, and it's just been getting worse with them lately. So I'm gonna keep
And
an eye out for
making
them.
subpar games too. They come out with the same game every year, just different skins,
Pretty
different
much,
changes.
there's only so much Assassin's Creed that you can play before you know. But what's good is that Lucasfilms is reclaiming their franchise. They hold the keys to their kingdom right now, which is great. And so they're working with Ubisoft. So hopefully, Ubisoft, they still put out good games. They're questionable, but they're still quality games for the most part. And the best part is they are not EA. So we'll just keep an eye out on what comes out after that. So yeah,
Alright.
guys, good stuff.
More
Keep
good
it
stuff.
going.
Amazon is releasing a Lord of the Rings TV show.
Yes.
And apparently they are the price tag of this show that Amazon has put on to make Lord of the Rings $1 billion. $1 billion on absolutely to create this show. They're going all out. They realize that there is a huge audience of Lord of the Rings nerds out there that want to invest themselves in this world. And so they're going deep. It's just not just going to be the trilogy of Lord of the Rings that they're going back to. They're going deeper. They're going to what's known as the Second Age before Aragorn and Gollum and all that. It's just when
Even before
Sauron
Bilbo.
was, even before Bilbo, before the Hobbit. They're going
Is this Isildur?
deep into Tolkien lore.
Before Isildur.
This is
Really?
yeah. Oh yeah, this is before that. Yeah,
Okay.
even.
So basically, it's how Sauron rose to power.
Sauron.
And how he eventually came to make the rings. And what I've read is that they're already preparing for 5 seasons of this.
Wow.
Yes, and
All
I
right.
am all
It's gonna
for
be
it.
Game of Thrones level, awesomeness without the Game of Thrones, garbage.
Yeah,
and
I'm
if
hoping that
you
they
know what
keep
I
it-
mean. You guys exactly know what I mean. When
I
I
am
say
hoping that they keep it clean so that my good old mother, who loves Lord of the Rings as well, can watch the show in peace.
They will. There's nothing that Tolkien has ever written that is like, oh.
Hey, but Hollywood loves to go, we're gonna throw sex into this to appeal to the audiences, so
Nah, they're not gonna do that. If they do
No,
that,
they
they
know
they're
it-
gonna throw their whole fan base away.
exactly.
Yeah, it's they'll keep it PG-13, so there will be orcs getting chopped up into bits and pieces.
That's what I
Lots
like
of
to
scary
see, man.
stuff. Elves being weird and creepy. Lots of monsters, but yeah, there
Yeah.
won't be any.
There won't
brothels
be any orcs
or
trying to
anything like
say,
that.
"Let's get it on."
I know what it is you saw.
Never mind. I'm gonna stop right there.
All right. Well, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Do we have a release date, or do we have like anything coming up with that one?
I would say maybe if best scenario, late 2021, but more than likely 2022. That's my guess.
They have a cast made and everything, so I'm sure right now they're in pre-production, conceptualizing sets and costumes and all that. So get ready for. I mean, you'll start seeing some images pop out. They'll start getting the buzz going on for the show. It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm excited for, and this isn't alluding to anything, but really the Netflix live action Avatar. I am really, really waiting to see what happens about this. I haven't heard a whole lot about the show. Not a whole lot has come out about the show. But it's
No
been in
Brian,
production
no
for
Brian and Michael
allegedly
though.
Yeah. No. The original creators are not on the show anymore. They left.
abandoned ship.
They
And
opted
so
out.
That's why I'm like, I'm biting my nails on this one. What are you guys doing to my beloved show?
I never had hope. Never had hope for this show. And
I did.
I did
Because
not, because it is the exact same thing that happened with the last Airbender movie, and I want to be proved wrong, but when the last Airbender was in trailer form, just showing on trailers on TV, I saw it said that looks like a bad movie. It's not going to be good. And then you and Brian were like, "Oh no, give it a chance. It looks like you'd be good." And I'm like, "Okay, okay." Next trailer came out. It doesn't look that bad. I was right from the get go. It was so bad. So I'm thinking I don't want it to be this way. I want to have a really nice show from Avatar, but I'm having like that little speculation going on that it's not going to be good.
and that's natural. I really really liked that little piece of artwork that they put out where it's just Appa and Aang in the middle of the South Pole. I love that artwork. And so I'm hoping that that is a sign of things to come. Like that Appa actually looks like Appa.
Not like the little weird CGI creature that we got. That's not the Appa we all know and love.
That was not Appa. That wasn't even a sky bison. That was closer to that guy from the Neverending Story, Falcor. That was close. that was some form of Falcor right there.
Weird. No.
But even that is a mean thing to say about Falcor. But
yes, that'll be interesting to see as well when that comes out.
We should say that for another podcast. What do we want in an Avatar TV show, live action? You know, what is our dream? You know, our dream list. You know,
what do you guys want to see? Leave it in the comments below.
But now,
and like us too.
Yeah. Leave some likes and tell us that we're cute and stuff. Anyways, dessert corner. Katie, hit us with that dessert that you want to eat so bad. What do you got?
Okay, so I think my body has adjusted to doing these podcasts because every week I just look forward to eating dessert this one time a week. Today's dessert is a giant honkin' brownie from Sweet Magnolias in beautiful, scenic downtown Gainesville, Georgia. I mean, it is homemade, handmade every day, and this thing is gargantuan. I don't even have a glass of milk. This is terrible. I might have to scooch away for a second after I take a bite out of this thing to get a glass of milk. But it is super thick. They gave me a corner piece, which I kind of like, corner. But just picking it up, I mean, look how it is thick.
Yeah, I can see it, definitely.
That is a thick brownie.
Everybody can see it right now.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like there's nuts in it. All right, so I'm just going to take a corner off of this giant chunk. Let's see.
This episode is not nut allergy free.
It is very thick and moist. It's got chocolate chips in it and nuts. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna have to scooch and get a glass of milk to go with this.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, way to go, Sweet Magnolias. I'll be back. They have cupcakes and blondies and other things that I can't remember, but they also have good sandwiches. So yes, Sweet Magnolias. They make darn good brownies. And that's all I have to say about that as I take another bite. Who's next?
That's Big Brother over there. Brian, hit us with that stream of the week. What do you got for us?
Stream of the week. Okay. So for all you true crime fans out there, get ready for Netflix's new passion. I'm talking about Night Stalker, the stalker of the night. You know, there's been a lot of buzz about this show. It's one of Netflix's new true crime documentaries about a serial killer in greater Los Angeles in the 70s and 80s. It's pretty grisly. You know, it's crazy how you grow up not knowing about, you know, what's going on in the news when you're a kid. And, like, there's some bad people out there, some bad, wicked people. how it's what's interesting about this show. It's not even like if you're a woman walking out in the middle of the night, which you should never ever do. It's like this guy is entering into homes and
Ugh.
doing unspeakable, horrible things. I don't know what it is with the our lust for true crime documentaries and stories, but Night Stalker is a great one. It's told from the perspective of the actual cops that brought that were on the case 30 years ago. So it's a really good show. It's solid. It's a limited series. Check it out. But make sure you watch with somebody because it is very creepy and scary.
Where can we watch that?
That is on Netflix, streaming right now.
All right.
Night Stalker, featuring the Stalker of the Night.
Did you guys watch the Ted Bundy documentary? Well,
I
it
did
wasn't
not.
really. There was a documentary, and then on top of that, there was the one with Zac Efron that he produced or something, directed. And
Yeah, the movie's really good. Zac Efron does a solid job.
he did
He's
a great job.
Oh wait, I
in
think
that.
I did watch the documentary on him.
and
There
there,
was-
yeah, it's pretty much tape recordings of Ted Bundy right before he was executed.
It's off. Both of them are very fascinating. The movie with Zac Efron is from Ted Bundy's perspective and how he really thought that he was innocent.
Oh yeah.
which is insane. Like, it's just crazy. You're getting his perspective, which is unusual. It's good. And then you get the actual documentary where it's like, oh, that's reality.
True crimes, bro. They're so enticing for some reason.
Ileana, what you got? What anime are you watching? Tell me.
Okay, so I'm not currently watching this one. I have finished it actually. Cowboy Bebop. Have any of you guys heard that one?
Ooh.
I've heard of it, and it's supposed to be like a must see, but
It is
I've never gone into it.
It's on Hulu. I watched it on Hulu, and it was so good. The music, the animation. I still look at these 80s animation. It's either late 80s or early 90s anime. I don't remember which one. And I'm like, how do they do it? How do they make such intricate artwork and then animate on top of it? Like I went to school for that and I still don't know how they did it. So, really interesting story following a bounty hunter and his little gang of rough and toughers. He's a guy who likes to usually work alone, and more people just get piled onto his little gang. And just all of their personalities are very interesting. And you go see the people he's trying to catch for some money to put some beef stew on his plate every night at dinner. So
I can relate.
really, really good show. Beautiful, like I said, animation. The music is, chef's kiss. Super good. Give it a watch. Watch it on Hulu. Check it out.
I've watched a few episodes. It is a very good show.
Yeah,
It keeps
super
your
good.
attention.
Yeah, I need to check it out. I mean, I keep hearing it's like one of those shows like Akira or Ghost in the Shell.
Oh yeah,
That is, you have to see this anime because
Yeah.
it's awesome.
it's really good. Check it out. And
So
with that,
I
oh wait, what? No, go ahead.
one thing related to anime and video games. I forgot to mention this the other day when we were talking about Bowser's Fury. Did you guys notice? I guess I'm gonna ask Ileana this. Did you notice that Mario, when he gets really big in the cat outfit, he turns
Super Saiyan. Yes, I did.
Saiyan Mario.
Super
That was
Saiyan
the
Mario.
very first thing when I first saw the trailer. That was the very first thing that I noticed when I saw him get big. I was like, "Oh my God, it's Mario Goku!"
That's funny.
I'm
Yep,
waiting,
that
I'm waiting for him to do a spirit bomb right on top of Bowser.
that yellow hair just did it, didn't it?
Well, Goku for Smash. There you go. That's what you get.
Goku confirmed for Smash.
That's what you get. We're gonna get the cat Mario, and his final Smash will be he turns into Goku.
Oh boy.
You guys wanted it. That's what you get. Yeah.
And with that, we go on to the meat and potatoes of this podcast, and that is where we talk about Legend of Korra.
So once
good.
Yeah, thank you.
once Last Airbender ended, that was it. We thought I don't know if there's ever going to be another show if this is going to be it for Michael and Brian and the world they created. And then, out of nowhere, Legend of Korra pops up. So, what were you guys at when you first heard about Legend of Korra and this new Avatar show?
I was in college. I was, just sort of bopping around like, oh, okay, I don't really have as much time for um, pretty much anything to get invested into. And yet, of course, when I heard that there was a new Avatar show, I was all over it, all over it. And I was just pretty excited. Not really much to say about that. I was just excited.
I was in high school at the time, and it's funny because when Avatar came out, I was still in elementary school, and loved the show, and it was kid friendly and whatever. And then Korra comes out, and now I'm a teenager, and I'm watching the story of a teenager. So that was interesting. Just like part of my life to grow up with a TV show like that for the first time. Um, well, I say that I was interested in it at the time. Yes and no. I have some hard feelings with the show, but that's just because Avatar, paved a way that was too good to take over, I guess.
You couldn't just equate. One does not simply equate with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Exactly.
And so there were some pretty meaty shoes to fill. Um, do you guys think that Korra filled those shoes?
No,
No,
100% no.
no. Brian, where were you at when you
Oh.
first watched Korra?
I just now, recently, within the 2020, was the first time I watched Korra. I know it was on Nickelodeon, but being a dad now and working a full time job, I just didn't have the time. I mean, I didn't even know when Korra was appearing on Nickelodeon, if it's still Friday nights. But I'm a dad. I don't watch Nickelodeon. So it wasn't until Korra actually came up on Netflix streaming where I was able to sit down and actually watch the show. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Korra a ton. I think it's a great show. Still nowhere near anything close to Last Airbender in terms of quality, storytelling. The animation still phenomenal. I love it. The animation for that show is great.
Yeah, it
But
is.
it just doesn't have that factor that Last Airbender has.
It's true. And when the show first came out, I actually had to. They premiered on Fridays on Nickelodeon, and I actually had to wait until the next day. Oh, boohoo! When it was online on Nick.com, and that's how I would watch the show. Um, but yeah, you're right. The animation is phenomenal. I think
Yeah.
I enjoy the change in the art style. It looks a little bit more modern. It matches the I'll say quote unquote maturity of the show because it's definitely for an older audience. I think if a 5-year-old were to watch this as opposed to The Last Airbender, a lot of things would go over their heads, and you can't really. It's for teenagers. It's about
Brian,
teenagers.
did you watch Korra with your two daughters?
Absolutely, I did, and for the most part, both my kids love Last Airbender. They can sit down anytime, watch Airbender. My 5-year-old could skip Korra,
Okay.
not totally invested into Korra. My 8-year-old can watch Korra no problem and enjoy
Okay.
it and enjoy the story. And I mean, it is a lot more serious show with a lot more mature themes than Airbender. The animation, like you said, and the storytelling is a lot more mature, but it's not up to the point where I was like ever until maybe the very end, which maybe I don't know if we'll talk about the very last episode, where I was like, I don't know if we should watch this, or I'm kind of hesitant,
Or
you
even,
know,
Yeah.
we know what
because
part you're
there's
talking
some.
about.
Yeah, I was, and
But
I'm not trying to, and I just wanted for people that listen to this, I'm not trying to be like, I don't agree with that lifestyle or anything like that. It was just I have small children watching this, and that's a
but
big step for them to be able to have that conversation about watching the show with relationships like
Right,
that.
and it wasn't only just that relationship, it was the whole relationship with Korra and Mako, Bolin, and, the whole triangle, and then Asami, that whole thing. Um, and then the violence aspect of it, we see what happens to the Earth Queen, we see what happens to Korra,
That's right. The
and
Earth Queen episode was really serious,
so
and I
I'm
was like,
sure for
"Whoa,
like
holy
a
cow!"
child to
Yeah.
watch that, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if they would care or if it would just be kind of like you would go over their head or if they would, latch onto that. I'm not sure
Or
how that
even
one.
in season one, the very last episode of season one. I'm not going to spoil it, but the
Right.
very last like 5 minutes, we're like, oh, I did not see that coming.
Right,
Oh my
right.
goodness.
So a lot more
Um,
mature themes going on, and there were mature themes in Avatar, but in Avatar you see Jet quote unquote die maybe, but they didn't show anything. In Korra, they're a lot more blatant with it. Would you say that is true?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
You
But
can't get more
but I
blatant
did
than what happens.
I did watch an episode though, and I know this is true Nickelodeon and everything, and even maybe even Disney. They do this. Like if a plane explodes, you still see
Oh
the
yeah.
pilot open up his parachute, and you know that he got away. He's gonna land safely somewhere. He's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna die in a. But other characters though have ends, untimely ends where you know for a fact. Oh yeah, he gone.
He gone.
In fact, I was rewatching. I think it was the beginning of season 2, and the very first episode. This isn't any kind of spoiler, but the very first episode, the very first thing that you see is a boat just hanging out in the middle of the ocean, and it gets overtaken by spirits. And you know those guys are dead. They died.
They
They're
went bye
no
bye.
longer with us. Yeah, they went bye bye.
Yeah. So
And
it's
there's a lot of that within the show. There's just a lot. There's a lot of death in this show.
Yeah, so it's just an interesting, put the two up to each other, and they're both dealing with the mature themes in both shows. However, Korra is a lot more in your face with it than Avatar was. Probably just because they would like assume that they're like me. I was a child when I watched Avatar, and I grew up into a teenager to watch Korra, so I could more handle like the more mature themes. So that's an
And
interesting aspect about it to me.
I will say my last point about the violence. Even it's not even just the violence. It's also the animation of the violence, and it's not just death. In fact, the whole premise of season 1 is that people are getting their bending abilities taken away, quote unquote, permanently. And there was one guy named Tano who was antagonizing the main characters, but he was just a dumb guy, and he gets his bending taken away. And while he's getting his bending taken away, the animation of him suffering
Yeah.
while that's happening, that was a little bit unsettling when watching it for the first time, because his eyes are bulging out. And
Yeah.
In a way, you could even say that, and I think one thing too is the no matter what the incredible voice acting with this show. Both shows had incredible voice acting. We can
I
never
agree.
ever, overstate that. But in Legend of Korra, the voice acting was so great, but I felt like in a lot of those scenes of torture, but while it's somebody's getting their bending taken away, I mean, you could say that's akin to somebody getting, quote unquote raped. Even, they're being violated in
Yeah.
a way that's, it's not, you don't see that when you watch the show, but I mean, you could see that as their essence of who they are as a person, their innocence, how they use their bending is being taken away from them in a way violently.
yeah, it is hard to watch in some cases.
Yeah.
So let that just sort of, if you're planning on watching the show and you have young kids, just sit and watch it with them. I would be hesitant. I don't have any kids, but I think I would be hesitant to just say, oh yeah, you can go watch Korra.
Yeah, I
I
had the
won't
girls
watch
like,
it.
if you guys are gonna watch Korra, I have to be there.
Yeah.
We can't watch it by themselves. I
And
have
it's
to be
not
there
that
with
there's
you.
anything super inappropriate about the show. In fact, there's really not. However, like I said, there are things that may be a little unsettling for younger viewers.
Right, right.
But overall, it's an enjoyable show. The action is phenomenal. When you get into the action, it's like wow. In fact, that first episode of season 2, which season 2 is the worst. It is truly the worst. But when you see Mako trying to chase down a group of guys in a van, that action sequence with him on the motorcycle, that is awesome. That really
it's a fun show. It's a fun show. It's still got comedy. It's got a lot of creatures and animals, spirits that are fun to interact with. There's lots of kids too in the show. I mean, there's a lot of teenagers and adults, but there are a lot of also kids. The airbending kids are a breath of fresh air, truly, in that whole show.
Except Milo.
All right.
Milo.
So maybe we should start getting into the rankings then.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so through 4 seasons, what are your guys' favorite character? Ileana, you go first. Your favorite character from Legend of Korra.
All right. So, out of all of the characters that we have seen in Korra, I would have to say that Tenzin is my favorite, and Katie's gonna hate me for that.
I do. You're the worst.
Tenzin is my favorite character only because I appreciate his fatherly figure towards almost like everyone, towards Korra, towards her friends, towards his own family, his obligations to Republic City. He's the one character who I am not annoyed with or fed up with in the show. So that's why I chose Tenzin.
Oh my god, are you done yet?
I am done.
Okay. So I don't hate Tenzin, but I don't like him because he, to me, is the antithesis of an airbender. He's uptight, he's got a short temper, and I get it. He's got 3 annoying children and 1 newborn. I get it. But he is, to be, quote unquote, Aang's favorite child, or, have spent a lot of time with Aang, he is nothing like Aang. And it bothers me. If he wants to be exactly like the airbenders of old, why on earth is he so, just angry all the time, man? Jeez,
hey,
drink some tea.
I know you're going on this rant right now, but we're talking about favorite characters.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I had to get that out. I'm sorry.
Pick a favorite character.
I'll keep mine short. I'm going to say, and I'm probably going to get some flack for this one, I like Asami.
No, I think you're valid in that.
I like Asami. And
explain yourself. Yeah, I'm...
Okay, so Asami was rich. She was a rich gal. However, she was not some pretty chick with money. She was very smart. She was intuitive. She worked with her friends. She could have just been like, no, I'm not gonna have any part of this, whatever. Look what it did to my dad. My dad's gone crazy.
I'm just Mako's girlfriend type of thing.
I'm gonna be over here. You guys go over there. You guys are stupid, bad. No, she instead decided to team up with them to do the right thing. And she was always caring about her friends. She always tried to do what was best for them and support them, even if that caused pain to her. And despite her pain, so I think she's a very strong character, and she's just, I like a good, smart woman who is also very strong. I think that is very much up my alley. Same with Lynn, and I'll keep her short. She's also very tough. She's Toph's daughter, and she's very tough, and I like her. She's no nonsense, and I think that's hilarious as well.
All right, big brother.
Nice. I've explained myself. Thank you.
No, that's good, because I wouldn't immediately think Asami, favorite character.
Yeah.
But that's good. I like to hear that. I like Asami too. It's just she's not like my top 3 or anything. But I have 2, and I'll make them really quick. Korra, the title character. I love Korra. Like you said, she's a strong female character. I feel like Korra just gets a bad rap, like a lot of people are like, Korra's all over the place. She's a young woman. It's her first time. Nobody's perfect at being the Avatar. She can't please everybody, and she tries to do that through the whole story. She goes through so many ups and downs, you know, through her growth as the Avatar and as a young woman, and as a girl. But I love her, her femininity. I love that she's super tough. She's a great fighter. She's like an athlete. She really is. I really enjoyed watching that aspect of her. And just how she loves people. She loves her family. She loves her friends. She loves Tenzin. And just even that relationship that Korra has with like Tenzin's kids. I love that. That spoke to me. It felt so real. And then really quick, Boomy. Boomy is also my favorite. He's just he is a one-note character. He's just wacky, and he and Boom Joom.
That's what
Boomy is awesome.
Brian sent us
Legend
a
of Boomy.
message when he started watching the show, and we asked him, "What's his favorite character?" He said, "Boom Joom."
Oh, and Boom Joom was a little flying rabbit with wings.
Boom Joom, I'm sorry the sweater didn't fit.
Oh my gosh.
Boom Joom, that's so good.
Hey, see, Boomy lifts up the show. He and Boom Joom. Otherwise, this show would be so dire. But Boomy's there. The first time you see Boomy, he's like, yeah!
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Least favorite character, go.
Brian.
3. 1, 2, 3.
Korra.
Milo.
Oh, I was gonna go Juan.
Oh, that's a good one. I'll keep mine short. For Korra, all the reasons that you stated are reasons why I don't like her.
Dang.
I did not find her an enjoyable character. I thought, strongly doing, it's not proving to help her any.
She's just playing for the fire ferrets, man.
No, not strong in that aspect. Like, she's strong-willed to like keep saving Republic City, and it's like, yeah, but you're the one who keeps screwing it up. She's so frustrating as a character for me. That's why she's my least favorite. All right, Katie.
She really can't. I really think she can't help it though when she has like a million things coming at her. She's got a hot temper, and sometimes
I don't want to hear it.
Things through. Oh man. Okay, worst character, Milo. Not one redeeming quality about that kid. He is so annoying.
He is a walking fart joke.
He is.
And I hate that.
Can you imagine someone telling you you're a walking fart joke?
That to me, that kind of comedy is low-hanging fruit, and I don't appreciate it. Like, ugh.
Oh my gosh!
The only redeeming quality about him is that he's a good painter. That's it, and that is a footnote in 4 seasons of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
I just realized, doesn't Milo look like Tommy Pickles?
Oh my gosh.
He's such an ugly kid too. Milo is an ugly kid.
Be the least.
He is hideous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why do they draw him so ugly? I don't get it.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
So I'm just gonna leave it at that. He is my least favorite.
Brian.
I will say Mako, but I'm not gonna just Mako is. Also
that one's obvious.
Mako is on the edge. It's just Mako is just too of a straight
character.
Guy. He's just the tall, handsome straight guy, serious.
Yeah.
He, compared to Bolin, who's full of character. Everybody loves Bolin.
Yeah.
But I would say Juan, the character from season 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be the Avatar, and I just. Maybe part because it's all about season 2 of Legend of Korra. It's just kind of a stinker of a season. I mean, it's not bad. It's still watchable, but do you think the first Avatar is going to be like, whoa, cool, the first Avatar? It's just, it doesn't do anything for me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nope. Dumb. All right, favorite episodes going by season. All right. What you guys got? Season 1. What do you guys like?
Welcome to Republic City.
That's what I chose to.
Oh, dang. Yeah, the very first episode. It was a nice opening. I really liked that one. Usually, going to Avatar: The Last Airbender, that episode is kind of meh. It's good, but it's not, amazing. And I really liked episode 1 of season 1. just showing Korra's character, letting him blossom. It was fine to start, and then they ruined it. But
I liked
I
it.
picked up the. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, really quick. I liked it because for a lot of it just really showed the city. It showed the issues right from the get go. It introduced you to all the major characters well. But there's one scene that sort of sticks out to me the most. It's when Korra stows away on the boat that's going to Republic City, and she's just laying in some hay or something, and she's just laying there, sort of imagining what her life is going to be like, what it's going to be like, and she's so full of hope. And I think that is a really cool setup for the rest of the show, and then what ultimately happens to her. Brian, what you got?
My favorite episode was, and the winner is from season 1.
That's
I
such
really
a good
liked
one.
it because I mean, I really liked watching the pro bending as a sport. You know,
Yeah.
I thought it was really neat how they just incorporated that into like an actual sport and rules. You know, just like how J.K. Rowling came up with Quidditch, and there's all these rules associated with it. And that game, that sport, makes sense. Well, these guys came up with pro bending, and it has sports, it has rules, it has referees. It's just neat how they were able to,
Yeah.
you know, totally take it from one thing to something else and to tell that story. And you get a lot of Mako and Bolin and Korra in there. Then you see how their relationship grows into friendship. So that would be the best episode of season 1 for me.
Season 1 was really hard to pick a favorite episode for me because Modest was not perfect,
Yeah, agree.
but it was really great. Especially the last few episodes. It just had a really great climax, and for me, a satisfying ending. I know for some people the ending is kind of like, but I liked it. I thought it was a good twist ending, and I liked it.
What would you guys say is your least favorite episode of season 1?
The aftermath. It was just sort of I wouldn't say lackluster. It's when you find out about Asami's dad, and basically they're just doing undercover stuff. And yeah, the ending of the episode is good, but for the most part, it's like putting the pieces together. So it was, stuff.
Mine would be A Leaf in the Wind. I like the episode in like regards to like pro bending. I think that one, like that part of the episode is good, but Korra learning bending at the Air Temple Island, she's more of her characters coming out, and I'm starting to already dislike her, and I think that's just like the 3rd episode. So
it's the 2nd.
Yeah, exactly. So that one is my least favorite.
Oh, be the leaf.
Oh, Brian, what's yours?
Milo.
Man, I'm looking at like the episodes of season 1, and there's like more good episodes than bad episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
If you look at what episode is it? Out of the Past, where Korra goes back to. I mean, it's awesome. You get to see Aang, Sokka, Toph when they were adults. It's so neat. Skeletons in the Closet, when you get to see more about Noah Talk and Amon and all those guys.
Did you say
Oh,
Amon?
jeez.
Amon?
Oh,
Amon?
People are clicking away
Amon,
right now
Amon.
just because you said Amon. Oh my god. Please don't leave.
So I'm
Og, Sokka, Ero.
No. Anyway, I'm sorry, go on.
So did you have a least favorite episode though of that season?
Yeah, I'd probably go with Voice in the Night then.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of Tarlok telling Katara what to do.
Katara?
I mean, not Katara.
You mean Korra?
Korra.
Clicking away,
Korra,
they're hating the
so-
episode.
Oh man, if they did
Oh,
it before now, they're doing it
jeez.
now.
Fine.
No.
I don't have a bad episode in season 1.
Oh, fair.
Put me down for that.
No, that is a good one as a least favorite episode. They're giving so much exposition and like backstory. They're just telling
Yeah.
you instead of showing you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, favorite episode of season 2? Anybody?
I'll go with A New Spiritual Age, which we were talking about this earlier. The titles for these seasons
Ugh,
are terrible.
they're so bad. What even is that episode?
A New Spiritual Age is when dadgum, I need to Google it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Googling it right now. It's when Korra goes into the spirit world and struggles. I'm reading this right now, verbatim. It's when she sees Iroh. She meets Iroh in the spirit world. They're trying to I don't even remember what they're trying to do. It's season 2. Season 2 was not great at all.
No, it was so unforgettable.
The part that
it was so forgettable.
The part that sticks out to me the most is that Korra saw Iroh, and that was definitely fan service, and it worked. It definitely worked. Other than that, I don't like season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. What did you guys like?
For season 2, see, I'm looking at the list too, and I'm still like, what even are these episodes?
Not everybody at once.
And looking at the list, there's more bad episodes than I can find a good one. I guess.
Yeah.
The beginnings part 1, the episode of Juan.
Oh no, are you serious?
I would say that's my favorite just
Oh.
because it changes the story, for goodness sake. I'm so sick of hearing about the stupid civil war in the Water Tribe, of whatever is going on. They're like, let me throw the beginning story of the first Avatar. Like, I'm gonna let you finish, but I gotta get this out first. And
let me tell you, it doesn't just change the story from the Civil War. It changes the canon story
of the Avatar universe.
Of everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll talk more about that.
The one thing I dislike about that episode is the animation style change and, like, the art change. But other than that, I do like the spirits in that episode, so.
The spirits were the saving grace of it, but
yeah,
that's it. Brian, what you got?
Oh, jeez. Are we talking the favorite episode?
I know, it's really hard to pick a favorite of season 2.
We haven't even gotten to the worst episodes.
Where's the episode where you see Commander Zhao? We'll go with that one.
Oh, that one is oh man.
It's Darkness Falls. Is that it?
Beats me. Like
where they go.
Said, these names are just.
Isn't that season 3?
No, it's season 2.
No.
It's
where they go into the fog of lost souls.
Yeah, when they had to rescue Bumi and Kaya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
They had to go save Janora.
Yeah, because she's in the spirit world. They're all in the spirit world.
But I can tell you right off the bat, seriously, which is like my least favorite episode, the worst episode, Southern Lights. That is so boring.
Mm-hmm.
They're all boring.
I mean, the first half of this season is so.
It really is
boring. But it's just them going up to the South Pole to. Unalaq is doing something with lights and spirits, and god, it's so boring. And this is where I can see where everybody kind of hates on Korra, because she pushes Tenzin, she pushes her father away, she just listens to this guy who she just met, Unalaq, who's like, you need to learn about the spirits.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just out of nowhere. And
she keeps yelling at Mako, who they're dating at this point. And
yeah.
Oh, yes. It just goes on and on.
I hate Korra. At this point, I hate Korra because I can't imagine,
and I think,
well, why are you taking his side? Why do we have to take sides? I don't know. Now you're just not making any sense. You gotta just scream.
Yeah, just fights for random no reasons.
You know, and this is where I feel like the writing for Korra, just for the character, I wish they had done so much more, because I see Korra as more laid back and chill. Why would she be arguing with Mako over freaking everything, dude?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. You said you loved him. He said he loved you. Why are you guys witching about anything, for goodness sakes?
No, he's right. I agree. My least favorite episode of season 2 is the Peacekeepers episode. That one's just so boring. He like the president, Korra going back and forth. Oh, we gotta
The
take
cultural
medicine
center is
from
bombed. Thank God. Blow them all up, man.
Oh my goodness. Yep, everybody's clicking away right now. The best
Fence!
person
A
that was here,
fence!
they're gone.
Yeah, no, that.
Oh,
that
and
episode
forget
was
Varric too. Varric is also the most overrated character. I'm gonna go.
Oh no, I
say
love
that.
Varric.
I like Varric, but
do
I
like
agree
him.
he's very
My God.
overrated. He's all right.
My goodness, he is also the other person that is the comic relief. My gosh, Julie, do the thing.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it. I don't know why, but I love it.
What's your
All
least
right.
favorite episode, Kate?
Oh my, beginnings 1 and 2.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They're both grouping both of them together. They are separate episodes, but they are both.
But the
terrible.
animation is good though. The animation is great in those episodes.
I
Though you
just
got to
like
give
the
them
art
that though.
style.
I cannot.
Do you?
get
Are you
past that.
serious?
The art style is so strange. It just came out of
Oh
nowhere.
my gosh, I love it. It's
It's to show-
it is. It's weird.
It's to show age. Like it's,
Oh, yeah, I get
looks
it.
Like it looks like ancient. I'm gonna get this wrong. Everybody's
It's like
clicking
scrolls
right
or
now.
something. Like
Yeah,
scroll
it
paintings.
looks like ancient art, like ancient Asian art. I hope I'm being okay.
No,
with
yeah,
that.
I get it. I get why it's like that. However, I still don't like it. It's like, okay,
But
you
they-
didn't
I
have
like
to.
it because it's so out of place. It really makes you feel like you're in a time away, long away, that
Yeah.
before time even began, which
Well-
I did enjoy. I like that animation style.
And that's why I picked it as my favorite episode, the first one, only because it was like finally a break. Korra's crap she's going through. Lord.
But it broke all the canonicity of Avatar:
Yes.
The Last Airbender.
Yeah, it did.
It messed up the lion turtle mythos, which was such a build up in the first show. Even if you go back to The Last Airbender, we knew about the lion turtles back in the episode The Library. I think
Yeah.
Aang looks at a scroll and you're like, what is that? And then you see this weird turtle thing, and it's supposed to be, mysterious and all that, but then it's just ruined in this episode. Like, and then
All the mystery is gone.
Yeah, but on top of that, the worst offender is how bending came to be, because bending very much was established of how it was learned. The waterbenders copied the moon. Earthbenders learned it from badger moles, and so on. The firebenders learned it from dragons, and airbenders learned
Nope,
from the sky
lion
bisons.
turtles. That's it.
Lion turtles, here you go. You
And
need
it's
to go
canon
hunt,
now,
you need to go
too.
kill
That's
some
it.
things. Yeah, here, take this. What is that? And then you have to return it when you're done? What is it? Like
Yeah,
a
so
rent-to-own
weird.
gun? Like, hunting we will go. Hunting we. Oh, come on. Just.
I
we
could
need to
rant
move on. We
forever
need to move
about
on.
season 2. So,
We need to move
season
on.
3 favorite episode. Season 3 is much better. So there's
Season 3 is the best season
Yes.
of Korra. Legend
Big
of
Brother.
Korra.
What's your favorite?
I don't
episode?
know. I'm really big on season 1, but the stakeout episode 9 of season 3. It's got a lot of action. It's a lot of the main 4 characters:
That's a good
Asami,
one.
Korra, Bolin, Mako, just hanging out. Team Avatar stuff. Stakeout. Yeah.
was kinda
My
cool
favorite
when,
episode is "Long Live the Queen" of season
Ooh,
3.
I almost chose that.
That's a
one.
really good one, just because you're like, oh my
The
gosh, it's
shock
getting
factor.
intense now. You know?
Yeah. I picked Enter the Void. Oh, it was so
That's a good one.
When a certain character had a certain thing happen to her at the end during this big fight, and that was a shock factor. Of course, they don't show you. They did the Disney Channel thing where they look away.
Yeah.
But wow, they did not hold back in that episode, and it was great. It's great villain, great everything about that episode.
Least favorite episode, season 3.
Original Airbenders.
Yeah.
Um,
Boo.
Why? See, I do not like Boomy in this episode. He's annoying Tenzin, and I see what Tenzin's trying to do. He's trying to teach the new airbenders the ways of airbending. He's trying to teach them, and nobody is paying
Listening.
attention, and nobody, they're off doing their own thing. And then here's Boomy being a total jerk. As an instructor, if somebody's not paying attention to what I'm telling them, there is nothing more grating, nothing more irritating. So I feel for Tenzin in this episode.
My least favorite episode of season 3 is Old Wounds. Don't care. Just bored. The relationship between Lynn and her sister, I don't even remember the sister's name. It was just so forgettable. Don't even care.
Su Yin.
Yeah.
Su Yin.
Boo. I'm bored.
Oh man, I love that. I did like
they
that
took
episode.
Toph's ancestry and just boiled it down to, dang it, Mom, slept around and we're only half sisters and bleh.
Dang. Tell me how you really feel.
I'm bitter work about it.
What? Brian, what is yours?
The Earth Queen. It's so annoying. God, it's so annoying, dude.
What?
The Earth Queen is one of the most annoying characters, and her eventual what's the kid in season 4? Is
Kai?
he her nephew?
Yeah,
it's her
Wu,
nephew,
Prince
yeah.
Wu.
He was
Prince
too.
Wu. God, they both suck, dude.
Wu
Listen,
down.
season 3. I would say season 3 is probably the most serious season of all 4 seasons. There's
I'd say season 4.
so much action. I don't know. There's so much action. There's torture. A main character gets freaking tortured
Poison.
and ends up in poison. It's the closest she probably ever gets to death.
Yeah.
The bad guys don't care in this one. They're not going to take your bending away. They're going to kill you.
Yeah. That's a really interesting contrast.
Amon, yeah, he'll take your bending away, but
you'll still be able to live as an equal human of Republic City, just like a non-bender. But in season 3, yeah, you gone, bro. You dead. You can't come back.
No, in season 3, there's no joking. They will kill you. These guys are hardcore. The bad guys, and we'll talk more about that. But
yeah,
the Earth Queen, she blows. She stinks, man.
All right, season 4, favorite episode.
Korra alone.
Really? No way.
Yes. No. I love that episode.
Oh my gosh, that's so
I love
funny.
Because I love. Is it your worst favorite?
Yes.
Worst? I love it because they delve into her psyche. Korra is alone. She's been tortured. She still has poison in her. She is dealing with monsters in her mind, and she has no idea what to do, where to go. She's trying to find herself. She's making bad decisions, but she's trying, and she's traveling the world pretty much, trying to fill this void in her. And I just think that's fascinating. I can't help but feel so bad for her after everything that she's been through in season 3, and you're just feeling, it's so gut-wrenching. It's great.
Big Brother, favorite episode?
Operation Beifong.
That's a good one.
So much. I feel, man, I can never really say enough about how they animate and design the action scenes in these shows. They are so well choreographed and then animated and filmed in a way that tells such a awesome story that you're right there and you feel the tension in the episode. I love it. I love how these guys use martial arts as an art form and then animate it to tell a story. It is beautiful.
I feel a little conflicted with how they did Toph, though. I can't decide if I like her or if she's just annoying. I don't know. But it is a great episode. The stakes are really high.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it. That's part of what makes it great. But I agree with you 100%. Ileana, what is your favorite?
So I would say that my favorite episode, season 4, is maybe Battle at Zaofu. Don't know why, honestly. Just like maybe the most enjoyable episode out of season 4. I don't really care for season 4 as much either. So
I like season 4, but
Yeah.
season
what
4 was just
happens.
kind of, it wasn't as bad as season 2. Season 2 was outright bad. Season 4 was just kind of just there.
I feel like, I mean, it's part of the writing. They did so many strange things with the characters. They kind of split them all up. You know, Bolin is going off to with the Kuvira's army as like an ambassador. You know, Mako is doing his own thing. Asami is doing their own thing. They're all just kind of off balance, and
Yeah.
it's just not as a fun story. It's pretty much just a all the way around war story.
Right.
And in the Battle of Zaofu, that's when Korra fights Kuvira. They do like a one-on-one fight, and Korra is just not herself. She can't even.
Yeah.
It's just not full 100% Korra, which is
And
kind of when
the
that's
best,
kind of it kind of drags the episode a little bit.
the best part about that episode is Bolin and Varric running away from Kuvira's army. That's like
That was good.
the one good part about that. Just seeing the two of them team up and just try to escape.
That was very good. He was about to blow. He was gonna blow everybody up.
Exactly. Least favorite episode, season 4.
Remembrances.
Remembrances! I just remembered this episode. Korra Alone was going to be my least favorite because it is a watered down version of Zuko Alone. Watered down.
Don't say that.
But Remembrances, who cares? It was such a bad version of Ember Island Players.
But I feel like I remember when I was watching that, I'm like, what is wrong with this episode? This is a filler.
It was so bad. Why was it why were we going
Like,
back
why
for
would they
everything?
even air this?
May I explain?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
And I'll do this as briefly as I can. So Nickelodeon was no longer funding or giving as much funding to the animators and creators, the whole studio of Avatar, of Korra. That's why all of season 4 was not aired on Nickelodeon. You could only watch season 4 online when it was premiering. And so there was no money to make anything. And so there was a time when they said, we don't know what to do. So the only thing they could do was make this episode. And a lot of the characters that you see in this episode are actually like old models of previous characters. For example, when Bolin and Varric are on the boat, the two characters, the guy and the girl, are actually sketch models for Mako and Korra.
Weird.
They could have ended up looking like that, but so instead of putting money in to create a whole new, episode or whatever, they said, let's actually just do this and recap everything and use the
like
previous
old
episodes.
archived animation or something.
Yeah, and so it doesn't make it right, but that's the reason.
Weird.
And so it was sort of worked as Ember Island Players. It was nowhere near as good,
Right.
But that was the situation that the team fell into. But it's still the worst. You can't really get past it.
Is it possibly the worst episode of all the shows?
Probably.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I would rather watch.
Yes.
I would rather watch The Great Divide 5 times over.
You know what? I
Yes, I will drink to that.
Yes, I cannot forgive beginnings 1 and 2. I just cannot.
Wow.
The problems that those two episodes, beginning 1 and 2, had, and the problems they created are just too numerous compared to Remembrances.
That one is you're talking storytelling. This is like watchability. Remembrances is borderline unwatchable. It's so obnoxious and frustrating
You
to
could cut that
watch.
episode out and it wouldn't change anything.
Exactly.
The
You can
story,
keep
Yeah,
you
you
know.
can
that's true.
keep the beginning stories, and yeah, while it's not canon to the story anymore, it still has to do with Korra regaining her memories of being the Avatar. Tapping into that whole thing. So those are maybe unlikable to watch, but they're still watchable.
I still
But
can't.
remembrances, no,
I'm,
unwatchable.
I'm gonna be salty about this. Nope.
Brian, what was
No.
your least favorite?
Least favorite. I mean, Remembrances was. I mean, I remember watching that with the kids, and I was like, "Let's just fast forward this episode, guys.
Let's just
'cause
skip
it's
it."
just bad." Yeah. Um. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go with After All These Years.
Which one's that one?
That's the very first.
That's the
episode?
very first episode. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's keep flying.
Exactly. And wrapping that up, the episodes are done. Who is your your favorite villain? Who is the best villain of any of the seasons?
Amon. Amon is, to me, there is no better crafted villain in the Legend of Korra. He is, he's got an awesome backstory. He's scary. He's haunting. He terrifies Korra. Literally, she ends up in tears, crying to Tenzin that she doesn't know what to do when she faces him. Bloodbending is always an ability that it's mysterious.
Yeah.
It's like we said earlier about where you take somebody's bending away. Bloodbending is like raping somebody. It's
That's why Katara was so afraid to use it. It is
it's
just horrible.
It was made illegal. She made it illegal.
Yeah, good. It
so
really is a
Amon,
violation.
and plus any guy that wears a cool mask, Amon. Yeah, that's awesome. Amon is the best villain.
I've got to go with Zahir and the gang.
Yeah, they're good.
Yes.
The Red Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about terrorizing Korra. Zahir freaking poisoned her and put her in a wheelchair, made her have a psychological breakdown. They are terrifying. But they also have a comedic factor about them. There's one point where they have Bolin and Mako in a truck, and they're just sitting around they're just trying to get from point A to point B, and they're just joking around. And I thought that's really funny. Or one of the benders in the gang, she's a water bender. She doesn't have any arms, and she finally gets let out of prison after like 20 years, something like that. And instead of taking an elevator out of this shaft, she uses water bending to create arms and is climbing up the
she's like
walls.
a freaking octopus woman.
Yeah, and she's carrying someone else, and she says, "There's an elevator, right?" Show off. so they are menacing and absolutely horrifying, but at the same time they're charming.
Yeah, whenever
they are the best, like, pure benders.
when Bolin is
like
talking,
just watching them bend is incredible.
when Bolin's talking to the Earthbender dude and he's asking like all these questions and he's like, "Oh, you got 2 out of 3," and he doesn't tell him which ones.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
funny.
I love it.
My favorite villain is also Amon.
Man.
Favorite villain. I can't think of a better one, honestly. Like, looking at Unalaq, no, he's my least favorite. Unalaq was trash.
What about Eska? I thought she was a pretty scary villain too, actually.
Boring.
She
Eska
wasn't
and
really
Desna
a villain.
were just-
She was a hormonal princess.
Okay, when she comes running in the water with her makeup, yeah, I'm
That
like Bolin.
is hilarious.
Yeah, that's good. I think Amon is just a more menacing villain, and his intentions were, let me eradicate all of the benders, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is a serious thing. Zahir is a good one, but not nearly as interesting as Amon is, in my opinion.
I think he's very interesting. I would love to know his entire background prior to him being
He's
put in prison. How
super
does he
spiritual.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, how does he know so much
Guru,
about
whatever.
airbending?
Lahima. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guru Lahima.
How and why does he know so much about airbending? Why does he even care? So there's like a whole thing that needs to be explained there. So I think there's a lot of mysteriousness with him. But worst villain, I'm gonna say Unavatu. Not just Unalaq.
That's what I said to Vatu.
Unavatu.
No, the
Put both of them
Unavatu.
together. Put both of them
What's
together, and
Unavatu?
you have
Remember whenever
when
they
Unalaq-
combined?
Yeah, at the very end, Unalaq and
Oh,
Vatu
yeah.
fused together to make Unavatu.
Some weird
Like,
Power
what is that?
Rangers enemy.
Exactly. They were just pointless.
Yeah.
What were they gonna do? Like trash the city? Oh, look at me! Now I rule the world. No. And then Korra turns into the same thing, but is now blue. And then Jinora pops out of nowhere and like does this Deus Ex Machina thing. I don't even know what she does.
Yeah.
But Unavatu is just pointless.
Yeah.
Pointless.
I'm with ya. Unalaq is my least favorite. As a villain, he's just kind of like, bro, sit down. You need to sit down. You need some water.
I will say that is one redeeming thing about Remembrances, is that they bag on Unalaq so hard, and it is hilarious.
That's good.
It is so hilarious. It's like they know. That is like fourth wall break. They know that he was a terrible villain, and they're like, oh, don't invite him to the call. Like,
All
no.
right. I'm going to ask a palate cleanser question. Who is a better animal companion, Naga or Pabu?
Naga. Naga's the best.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
a Pabu.
Pabu for
I'm
life,
a Pabu
bro.
fan.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I
Go
am all about
Pabu.
Naga.
But Naga's great, though.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny Naga. But, I mean, if I could have a Pabu, I would have a Pabu.
Your favorite.
Naga. That'd be great.
I mean, I pull Pabu out of my shirt, like, all the time. Just this little head poking out from my shirt.
Yeah, super
You know.
cute. So, yeah, Pabu all the way. That is it for Legend of Korra this week. Next week, we will be doing Korra and Avatar trivia. So that will be super exciting, just like how we did for Pixar. We went through all the ratings, and then we did Jeopardy. We don't know if next week's episode will be a Jeopardy episode or not. Gonna be figuring that one out. We'll just call it trivia for now. So we hope to see you for that episode.
I feel bad. I feel like we totally just, smashed on Korra.
We did. We
But
trashed
Korra's a
it.
great show. I enjoy Korra. Why do anybody think
I
that we
enjoy
hate
it
the
too.
show?
I
I
do.
love Korra.
I dislike Korra, so I hope that came out.
I've watched Korra. I've watched every season of Legend of Korra at least 5 times.
Gosh,
Like
how do you stomach it?
Goodness.
I really enjoy the show. Like I said, man, it's my favorite. Like at the end of the day, it is a cool show about some like bending the elements, and it's actiony, and it's got a lot of likable characters. It's just plagued by things that make it unlikable, but it's really wicked cool. Really wicked cool.
Nah, I'm
Some
not
bad
fully-
writing beats. Some bad choices in the writing and direction, and yeah, I think that's.
And
kinda where
I
that goes.
blame Nickelodeon. I say it's not the show's fault. It's Nickelodeon's fault.
You hear that, Nickelodeon? Blame to take
You hear that?
responsibility.
Really quick, my last thing. Did you know that Nickelodeon aired a football game the other night?
What?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what on earth is Nickelodeon? And it's because they are owned by Viacom, and which
Weird.
is also like CBS is like a thing of Viacom. So they were showing
Yeah,
a football
man.
game. I can't remember what game it was, but I was like, this is
What
weird.
on
It was
Earth.
Saints Bears.
What is going
it?
on in this
Saints
world?
Bears game.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Either way,
That's-
we
yeah.
appreciate you so much for listening to this episode. This is episode 8 of Bump That.
if you stuck around this long, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Thanks so much. Leave a comment or don't. Leave a like or don't. Free country. Thank you so much. Have a great
Don't forget to
vocal.
subscribe.